Alright everyone out there in Banjo land, Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with just a little mini banjo lesson. I wanted to focus on one particular up the neck backup movable lick that I use a lot. Sometimes it's fun to work on a whole song with a whole bunch of tab, but sometimes it's also fun to just focus on one lick. We're going to kind of magnify down onto one little particular lick. We're going to look at a couple different variations we can use, and we'll look at moving it around the neck. It works out of our F-shape movable chord, so that's the position that we're going to work out of. Once you get it down, you can move it around to wherever you want. So I think I got this lick from Ron Stewart, an amazing banjo player and all-around great musician. I'm pretty sure he plays all the instruments, but definitely check out Ron Stewart if you haven't. I'm pretty sure that's where I heard this lick, but it's a great kind of Scruggs style movable backup lick that you can use. All right, let's jump into this lesson. Okay, so for this lesson, I just did it up on the D chord at the 12th fret with our movable F shape. You've probably done this one for G down here. You know, C is at the 10th fret right. D is at the 12th fret relative to my ring finger and pinky, which are my root notes. So that's where I'm going to do it, but again, I'll show you how to move it around. So let's do it. I'll show you a couple different variations. So the lick is actually just one measure long, and then I added just a little bit of a roll after, so you can just hear how to play into it and out of the lick. So we're going to start with thumb middle on the 4th string and 1st string, and then we're going to do a little single string move. We're going to do 10, 11 on the 3rd string. So I did thumb, index there, and then 12th fret, 1st string, and then 10, 11 again, and then 12th fret. So you have, and then 12th fret, this is just the roll. So I just did like a little roll there. You could also vamp. I'll show you a couple different options. You could do a forward reverse roll. The roll itself isn't particular. I just want to give you an option so you could practice looping it. So we have, starts over. So that's the lick. Not too hard, but a fun lick. I love that single string, that attack, and you're hearing that third change from the minor third to the major third with that single string right hand, which sounds really cool to my ear. A little faster. So another little variation you can do is you could do it with a hammer-on instead. So it'd be, so everything with the right hand, or the left hand, excuse me, is the same. The right hand is what's changing there. So I'm doing thumb middle, and then I'm just playing a thumb, and then changing the pitch with my left hand. So it's a little trickier almost. The key is not to rush through the right hand. Give those hammer-ons plenty of time value. So it's still 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. What's also cool about this lick is that it's syncopated, right? So we have 1 and then the hammer-on, the first hammer-on happens on the beat 2. So that's 1 and 2 and then you have 3 and 4 and. So the second hammer-on happens on the and of beat 3, which is really cool. So the first one is on a downbeat. The second hammer-on is on an upbeat. Same with the single string lick. So you have, so that's downbeat 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that just gives it a really cool syncopated sound because you're hearing that on-beat, off-beat syncopation thing that's really cool about banjo. So that's another way to do it. Another way you can do it is with a beat 1 rest. This is also another way I like to do it. So you'd go 1. So I'm letting that beat 1 be a pause. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let's do it with vamping. I like to do that. So I'll just do thumb, pinch, thumb, pinch. So thumb on the 4th string and then pinch strings 3, 2, and 1. can move it to your C. Down to G. Even at your high G. So you can do whatever vamping pattern you like, and then so that's kind of a cool lick. The other way this lick works kind of cool is if you do the 6 white horses lick, then you can go right into that other lick. So you'd have so you can make it like a 2 or 3 measure lick depending on if you want to roll, or you could vamp. 6 white horses lick. So personally, I like to do the one with the pause at the beginning, the slight rest. That's my favorite of the bunch, but I just want to give you a bunch of options. I just like that little hesitation. It sounds cool to my ear. You could also do the lick first, and then the 6 white horses lick. The other thing you can do is you can do the lick with the single string and the hammer-on combined. So you do something like that. There's a lot of options once you get it down. What I would do is just think of this as a little position. You could even go down the notes too. Something like that. So instead of going up, you could go down. Whenever I'm learning a new lick, I just like to get the flavor of it and then see how many variations I can come up with. Even if I don't end up using all the variations, I'm just using it as a jumping off point to enhance my own creativity. And also, if I slightly screw up the lick in a jam, hopefully I've practiced a little variation that I can kind of get out of it. One last one you could do is you could do the lick and then into a little bluesy. Something like that, so you'd have. So I'm just doing a little backwards pull off. That's like one of my favorite little bluesy licks. So you could do that before the lick or after the lick. Either way it would work. You can do it down here. So you could do. Something like that would sound cool. So just use this as your backup. You could roll into it. But I would kind of try with vamping. Give it some practice. Hopefully it's fun for you. What I would do is take it, try it at the jam session this weekend or whenever you're playing with some of your friends next. What I always say with a new lick is you have to crowbar it in there, jam it into a bunch of different situations, and it's not going to fit in all of them. And what I always do with a new lick is play it a ton, and then someone eventually will kind of nudge you and say, okay, we get it. We know you know that lick. Now move on to something else. So I always just overplay a new lick whenever I get it down. I think that's the best way to reinforce it. It's also a great way to memorize it so you can recall it a couple months later if you're not playing it all the time. But this is a great lick that I use for like swingy songs, for backup. You can use it on a faster song, you can use it on a slower song, so it's a good just all-purpose backup lick you can use up the neck. Hopefully that helps you out. Good luck and keep picking.